Hi, do you like Greek mythology? Do you like fantasy? Do you like realistic fiction? Well, this is a good choice for you. The Lost Hero by Riordan. This book is the first book in the Heroes of Olympus book series. It is a sequel to his previous series, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. The cool thing about this one, though, is we get the answers to some questions such as, well, we know about the Greek gods and goddesses, but what about the Roman side? And as for the realistic fiction aspect, they exist in our world today. It is so cool to get to see some characters who are like us, experience similar problems with family and friends, but are maybe some demigods. It's pretty cool. And we get to see them go to a camp where they learn what it means to be a demigod and have those powers and some prophecies along the way. We get to meet some awesome new characters in this series: Jason Grace, Leo Valdez, and Piper McLean. Each of these characters are the son or daughter of a different god, and we get to see some cool aspects of that. So, if you enjoy this, if you enjoy fantasy, check this book out. There's also an amazing graphic novel adaptation if you end up liking this book. It is adapted by Robert Venditti, and the art is by Nate Powell. Both are great, and I think you'll love this series. You should check it out. Go to the library, check both out there. Have fun. Hi. So, did you enjoy reading The Hunger Games? Maybe you liked Uglies. Perhaps Divergent. Well, the next book on your list should be Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. This is a dystopian novel set in a futuristic society about 20 to 30 years in our future. It asks the question, what if we continue destroying the earth? What if we continue to live virtually? What will our everyday lives look like? This book answers those questions. It shows us people who live their world in a virtual reality called the Oasis. And even cooler than that, the creator of the Oasis, James Holiday, he dies at the beginning of the book, and he decides to leave his fortune and his powers over the Oasis to anyone who can find his clues and get the final Easter egg in the Oasis. The main character, Wade Watts, goes on this adventure, and he starts seeing maybe this virtual reality world isn't what it seems to be. What is wrong with my real world? How can we change this? This book is so interesting. It answers so many questions and gives us so many thought-provoking things to comment upon in our own world as we continue to start developing more into virtual reality and things like that. So you should check this out. And if you're a fan person like me who loves many different fandoms, you will love this even more. There are so many different references in this book. This author is a big geek just like me and maybe just like you. So you should check this book out. Go to your library and find it on the shelves. So, the final book in our BookTalk series takes fandom into the real world. This book is called Fangirl by Rowell. This book is about a young girl, Kath, who is leaving home and going to college. Her and her twin sister have always been super close, and they love a fictional series that features the two main characters, Simon and Baz. They call it the Simon Snow series. Kath loves this series. She writes all kinds of fan fiction. She does all kinds of fan art, but she can't seem to connect to her real world. So when Kath and her twin sister Ren go to college, Ren decides that she wants to go off on her own, and Kath doesn't really know what to do. This book is all about her finding herself in her fantasy world as well as in her real life and falling in love. This is one of my favorite books because it hits a personal note with me. I've always loved different fandoms, and often I feel like Kath does. I wonder how to connect in the real world outside of fandom. This book is amazing because it brings in the fictional world of the Simon Snow series, which Rowell later on ended up writing Simon and Baz's story in a different book series. And it also has been adapted into some manga. The first volume was released a couple of years ago, and the second volume was released last year. These books are amazing, and you should check it out in your library. I hope you enjoy this.